Hello there, dear friends, and welcome once again to the Relaxed Fantasy Review. Today, we're continuing our series on spellcasting in the New Player's Handbook, and we're talking about Paladins. We're getting up into the mid-tiers of play with Paladins now. Paladins have hit level 9. Their aura of protection is solidly in place. They are, have got their second aura boost from their subclass, and it's starting to look like their spellcasting needs another jump. Third level spells. For many casters, third level spells are a huge step up in power. Wizards and sorcerers and warlocks and bards and all the full casters, they get a big jump at this level of play. How do the paladins look? They've got other casters getting their 5th level spells, and you are only just now getting your 3rd level spells as a half caster. So what should you take, and what will be the most impactful? I've got the spells here. I've prepared a top 5 list, 2 focused on utility, 2 focused on combat, and 1 honorable mention. Before I get into the details, though, I'd like to let you know, Relaxed Fantasy Review has memberships. For just $1 a month, you can support me here on YouTube and get a couple benefits. You get a little badge next to your name in the comments, letting folks know you're a supporter. You get early access to my videos a day before everyone else, and you get VIP access in my community Discord, where I've been talking about some homebrew stuff that I've been cooking up recently. If any of that sounds interesting to you, you can click the join button just down there next to the subscribe button. And if it doesn't sound interesting to you, that's fine as well. The Discord is free for anyone to join. Come on in, chat about DnD, anything you like. And honestly, just being here, watching the video, liking and subscribing to the channel, these are all great ways to keep supporting me. So thank you for watching my content here on YouTube. Starting with number 2 in utility. I'll be honest with you, when I looked over the spells, there were only 5 that focused on utility, and then there were only 5 that focused on combat. There were only 10 choices, so choices were a little limited. But with that being said, my number 2 recommendation for utility is the spell Magic Circle. This is usually thought of as a wizard-like spell where you would draw a circle around an interdimensional portal, summon a demon, and then you would use the circle to trap them while you bind them or something. This is a commonly known thing in D&D. But that's not all Magic Circle can do. Turns out Magic Circle doesn't have to be focused inward to trap creatures. It can be used as a battlefield setup. It only takes a minute to cast, costs 100 gold pieces worth of materials which are consumed. But once you've done so, it lasts for an hour, doesn't take concentration, and creates a 10-foot radius circle. The circle actually can keep creatures of specific types, aberrations, fiends, fae, undead, all sorts of things, you choose, and it keeps them from entering the circle willingly. So they cannot come into you. If they try to attack you at range, they have disadvantage on attacking any target within the circle. If they try to teleport into the circle, they have to make a charisma save to do so. And it's just a place they can't go. It creates a safe haven. If you have 1 minute to set up a battlefield because you know that creatures are going to be upon you shortly, maybe you've barricaded the door and they're going to break it down in 60 seconds, set up a magic circle. This will give you a huge advantage on the battlefield. It's not something that is typically used in combat. It is a utility spell because of its casting time. But that ability to create a safe haven that lasts an hour, I mean, you could take a short rest in that kind of time. This is a very powerful spell. It's just hard to use. So I'm giving it the number 2 spot on this list simply because of how strong it is, but it does take a tactical mind to pull it off. So keep that in mind. Number 2 spell on combat level is a little easier to talk about, though. It is the one and only Dispel Magic. It's hard to talk about magic without talking about dispelling it. It's hard to think about it. Most people think of Counterspell, but Paladins don't have access to that, and in lieu of Counterspell, you want Dispel Magic. Whenever you face a spellcaster that hits you with a nasty effect, as long as you can cast a spell back, you can dispel almost anything that this throws out. Obviously, you can't upcast it in order to just nullify anything. You are a paladin after all. But just having the ability, especially if you have a high charisma, high spellcasting modifier, to throw it out there and try to undo the evil mage's magic is a really good effect. As combat spells go, it is tough to beat Dispel Magic because in combat, magic can be your undoing. So keep this handy and you'll be able to survive. That's why it's my number 2 pick in combat. Before we get to the number 1s, my honorable mention is here, and it is the spell Crusader's Mantle. Crusader's Mantle is just... it's one of those spells that it really depends on your party. I would have given it higher marks in the combat section if it was a little more useful, but it depends on who you're with. If you are with a lot of people who make a lot of attacks, fighters, monks, barbarians with Polearm Master, anybody who is making more than one attack per turn, like, wizards and sorcerers are using their cantrips or their spells, their saving throws involved. There's a single shot of damage. Maybe a warlock could benefit from this with Eldritch Blast. But the point is that Crusader's Mantle benefits those who make lots of attacks because it gives you a 30-foot aura, 30-foot emanation. And any ally within that emanation that you choose gains an extra d4 to their damage for every attack they make. So this means that the Warlock with Eldritch Blast is getting 2d4 extra damage, 3d4 once they can add more Eldritch Blasts at level 11. The Monk, who's using Flurry of Blows, is getting 4d4 of extra damage added on top of this. The Fighter at level 11 with triple attack and action surge is adding 6d4 on their Nova round. This is one of those things that really benefits. And as a paladin yourself, who might be using a polearm and is making multiple attacks with extra attack and potentially even bonus action attacks, you're going to be adding some damage to this too. It doesn't take a whole lot. It's just you cast this for the party, you have this emanation for 1 minute, and it empowers you in battle. If you're a paladin protecting a whole bunch of spellcasters that aren't warlocks, then maybe this wouldn't be for you. But if you're a paladin in a party of marshals, this could very well be a game changer. So that's why it's the honorable mention. Moving on to my number 1 recommendations. Number 1 for utility is Revivify. Revivify, as far as I'm aware, is relatively new to D&D. I don't know if it came out in 3rd edition or if it's a 5th edition thing. Maybe if you know, you could let me know in the comments. But it was such a game changer because it made death way less scary. If a creature dies, not they're making death saves, if they're dead, they have stopped making death saving throws, they failed, they're dead. If they've done that within the last minute of time, you can use 300 gold pieces worth of diamonds and this spell to bring them back to life with 1 hit point. This is the absolute death undoer. This is the must-take utility spell for any caster who can take it. Now, obviously, if you're in a party with like 2 other casters that have it, maybe a druid and a cleric, then you don't necessarily need to pack it as the paladin. But especially if you're the primary caster for the party or the primary healer for the party, you want to have this. And if you're the secondary one, you still want to have it in case the primary healer is the one that goes down and is dead now. You want to have this. Someone in your party needs to have this. And that's why it's my number 1 recommendation. It's not a complicated spell. It works exactly as described. And it is absolutely the lifesaver spell. You don't want to go into a dangerous situation. Death is not inevitable in D&D. It is absolutely something that comes and goes, and you want to be ready for it when it arrives. So, number 1 for utility. Number 1 for combat, though, has to go to the Smite spell at this level, Blinding Smite. Oh, Blinding Smite. The damage isn't crazy. You cast the spell as a bonus action when you hit with a weapon attack, as every Smite works, and then it lasts for 1 minute. No concentration needed, I might add. When you do this, the creature takes 3d8 extra radiant damage and is automatically blinded. They are blinded until the end of their next turn, at which point they can make a con save to get rid of the blindness. This means that at minimum, they have 1 round or 1 turn of theirs that they are blinded, and that means no opportunity attacks from them. All their attacks have disadvantage unless they have like blindside or something like that. It stops them from being able to do so many things. Blinded is a very powerful condition, and there's no saving throw. If you've hit them, you can cast this, and if you cast this, they're blinded. So, very, very strong effects with no save involved. If they fail their con save at the end of their next turn, they're still blinded. And there's no need for you to concentrate on it. They just stay blinded after this flash of blinding smite. Like I said, the damage isn't as good as a Divine Smite. At the level 3 spell slot, the Divine Smite would be doing 4d8 instead of 3d8, but that extra blinding effect makes it absolutely worth giving up that d8 of damage. No question. All in all, because there's no save involved and because blinding is such a debilitating condition, I have to give this number 1. It's my favorite combat trick here at these levels of play. And yeah, that's it. If you are a level 9 Paladin and you aren't sure what spells to take, I recommend Blinding Smite and Revivify. Revivify if you are, the primary or secondary healer. If you aren't, take Dispel Magic, take Crusader's Mantle if you've got a lot of martials in your party, and if you are a tactical thinker, don't overlook Magic Circle. It's a great spell, just needs a little bit of specialty use to make it shine. And yeah, I hope that helps. This has been the Relaxed Fantasy Review. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe down below. Have a look for the join button down there, and keep your eyes peeled for more spellcasting reviews coming down the line soon. Have a good one, my friends.